So what do I say whenever my kid bites, hits, kicks, pinches, or punches? We have quite a few new faces around here, so I'm getting this question a lot. No, I really am. When kids act out this way, I always recommend to use the 5 words that every child or mom should have. I will not let you. If your kid keeps doing it, you can say, I see you're having a hard time not hitting. Do you need my help stopping, or are you going to do it on your own? If they keep going, which they probably will, because they love to test those boundaries, you can say, it looks like you're still having a hard time not hitting. I'm going to help you by holding your hand. And when you decide to be gentle with them, I'll let them go. If they show more signs of frustration here, you'll want to validate that emotion. I can see that you're frustrated, but hitting hurts, and I won't let you hit people. Do you need to work out that frustration by hitting this pillow instead? I mean, if we're honest with ourselves, even as adults, sometimes we still want to hit a pillow, and that's totally okay. The key in these situations is to make the boundary clear, validate the emotion, identify the root need, and redirect the behavior to something more positive. Let me know if you use this tip.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't really care. It's my house, my rules. Sit down and shut up. Oh, sweetheart, what happened? Oh, I can't stand to see you upset. Do you want me to take you out for some ice cream? Oh, please don't cry. I can't stand it. Honey, I love you, but you know that wasn't okay. And after you can tell me what happened, we can come up with a solution so next time you know how to handle it in a more healthy way, okay? So tell me what happened. I'm here to listen.
Stop expecting our children and our teenagers who have underdeveloped brains to be able to do things that we as adults struggle with. We expect our kids to not lash out when they're angry, but then we do. We expect them to keep their cool when they're frustrated, but we don't. We expect them to speak to us respectfully even when they're mad, and then we yell at them when it suits us. If you can't do it, they sure as hell can't do it either.
How do you stop your 2-year-old from hitting? Like, he's so mean.
Oh, my love. Here's what I want you to do. When he hits you, I want you to look at him and say, I won't let you hit me. And physically move a few feet away from him. And say, I'm going to stay over here where I'm safe. If he follows you and continues to hit, I want you to scoop him up and bring him somewhere where you can be separated from him by a baby gate. He can scream, he can have his tantrum, he can feel his feelings, he cannot hit you. You can say, when you're done, I'll try to help you. You're going to do the same thing when he hits his sister. Take him away from her and say, I won't let you hit your sister. Separate them with a baby gate if you need to. This is not a punishment. He still gets the toys he was playing with. This is just keeping his sister safe, keeping yourself safe. You deserve to have personal boundaries.
If your children's behavior triggers you, if their actions bring up strong emotions in you, congratulations, you have found one of the quickest ways to heal. So often we go throughout our days completely oblivious to the pain and the trauma that is stored in our body. And as parents, we are given ample opportunities to see what those things are. When your kid does something that makes you feel like, ooh, that makes me mad. I feel like I need to control the situation. I'm feeling disrespected and angry. That is a direct reflection of what is living inside of you, whether it be a belief, a wound, trauma, whatever it may be. And I'm not saying this is easy, but I am saying that you should pay attention.
When a child hits a child, we call it aggression. When a child hits an adult, we call it hostility. When an adult hits an adult, we call it assault. When an adult hits a child, we call it discipline.
I made a video the other day about how I lost control and yelled at my toddler. And it surprised me some of the comments I got saying that I did nothing wrong and it's totally fine to yell at your kid. So hear me out. This is why you should not yell at your child if they are in trouble. Yelling should be totally reserved for immediately dangerous situations. For example, your child is about to step off into the parking lot and a car is coming. Your child found a pill on the floor and is about to put it in their mouth. Your child is about to hurt another child. When a child is not used to being yelled at, they will freeze and stop what they're doing when they are. But if your child is used to getting yelled at pretty often, chances are they're not going to stop what they're about to do. In my opinion, this is such an important safety thing, especially when your child is really little, 2, 3, 4. But let me know what you think.
I'm going to
to tell you why I wouldn't give my 3-year-old a dog treat. I wouldn't give her a dog treat. I know it sounds weird, but just hear me out. So our 3 tiny humans love to feed our dog Stella. My 3-year-old Corey walks over to me this afternoon and goes, I feed Stella. I go, Corey, Daddy already fed her. You can feed her dinner. Immediately falls to the floor and starts crying. Again, she's 3-year-old. She's learning. I go, I'm sorry, you're upset. Would you like to give her a treat? She goes, no! And runs to the stairs to start crying. I take the dog treat to her and I go, you can give her a treat. She doesn't say anything. She just cries louder. I go, Corey, Stella's seen the treat. I need to give it to her now. Are you sure you don't want to give it to her? She goes, no! Some people might say she's disrespectful. That's rude. I take my ego out. I realize she's learning to regulate her emotions, learning how to process and act on them. So I let natural consequence play out, and I go give Stella the treat. Seconds later, she asked to give Stella the treat. That I offered you to give her the treat. You said no. You made that choice. So now you have to wait till later. Starts to cry. I said, would you like a hug? She goes, yes. I'm holding her. She goes, I want to give Stella a treat. But I'm sorry, honey, but I offered you that. You made the choice to say no. Sometimes natural consequence is the best teacher. We'll help them learn for next time. Our job is to support and love them as they learn.
I see y'all tagging me in it. The aunt takes the niece's phone and threatens to call her boyfriend if she doesn't do her chores. The niece comes out and gets aggressive and tries to get the phone. Her mom's on the sofa. She had surgery or is in pain and couldn't get up. She's like, I'm gonna get the belt and whip your... And the daughter is so pissed off, but she goes over and does the dishes and she's crying and they think it's funny that she's crying. If a man did this to a woman, you all will call it an abusive relationship. If a woman did this to another woman, you would call it an abusive relationship. But because it's an adult doing it to a child, you think it's funny. You think it's okay to overpower them, to have that control over them. The reason she probably didn't do her chores or her responsibilities is how she's talked to you. Look how you talk to her. Would you want to do something out of acts of service or responsibility for someone that treated you like that? Oh, I'm the adult, so I get to hold your phone over your head. Oh, I'm going to call your boyfriend. Like, what is that? Who does that to someone? Just because your child does the task because of what you did doesn't mean they have respect for you. It's because she had no say-so in the situation. You took her power away.
Raise your hand if you've ever told your kid, you're making me worried, you're making me sad, you're making me mad, you're making me stressed, you're making me tired. And unfortunately, when we do that, we're putting the responsibility of our feelings onto our kid. And it goes the other way. If they do something kind and you said, oh, that makes me so happy. It's communicating to the child that their behavior controls your feelings, which we don't want. So what do we do instead? Own your feelings. Say something like, I'm feeling angry, I need to step out and calm myself down. Or I'm feeling worried. Is there a way you can do that more safely? Or I'm feeling tired. Can we calm ourselves down together? Or when they're doing something kindly, don't say you're making me happy. Instead, praise the behavior. I love seeing you be kind. I love seeing you share. That way they can grow up understanding that they are not responsible to fix anyone else's emotions and they can own their own feelings as well.
So my content is mostly for the 2 to 6 year old range, but a lot of folks have been asking me, what does gentle parenting look like when it comes to under 2? So here's that video. We have 3 main points here. We're going to support their emotions, we're going to have a yes environment, and we're going to have lots of redirection. So by supporting their emotions, I'm saying that we are going to do our best to never let them cry alone and to trust that if they are crying, then they need support. Number 2, the yes environment. So under 2 years old, they don't really have any impulse control. So the burden is on us to make sure that there's not really a such thing as getting in trouble. If they get into something they shouldn't, that's on us. We should lock it up. Number 3, lots of redirection. So you can't throw that, but you can throw this. You can't ride that, but you can ride this. When it comes to hitting, we're going to do the really animated face. No hit mama. Yes, gentle touch mama.